hot saw. For the hot saw, power saws are called into action, and the athletes have a space of 15 centimeters to cut 3 complete discs off a 46 centimeter thick wooden block. Jumping the start or cutting over the line will result in a disqualification.
Heat 1 in the hot saw. Let's bring him out, Tristan Van Beek and Josh Wilson.
All right, standing 3rd and 4th place. Took it to make it into the top 4. That's the whole point of this Pool A competition. Tristan Van Beek in 4th place, going up against 3rd place, Josh Wilson. That's Van Beek in the foreground. There's Josh Wilson, 34 years old from West Virginia. He's been in this position before.
Warm up your
Tristan
saws.
Van Beek, we're ready to learn.
Without a significant error on stand number 2, Josh Wilson should be fine to get through the finals. Again, clean cuts, solid time, he's fine. Tristan Van Beek right on that bubble. He's had so many exceptional events. I'm nervous for him. I want to see him put this cut together. It is a lot to ask for a rookie to come onto this stage. The lights, the pressure, the saw, the noise. For what it's worth, ladies and gentlemen, Tristan Van Beek is going to just let it fly.
3 cuts inside of 6 inches of wood. Here we go.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both saws lit. Oh, trouble on the start for Tristan Van Beek. Reels it back in. If he can squeak in that extra cut. If the line is there, that was a tough start. I'll give him that. If he got the cuts in before that line, I don't know that he did, though. Oh, no. Trouble on stand 2 for Josh Wilson. Chris, our judge on stand 2, throwing the flag.
Uh-oh.
I got to be honest, Tommy, I was watching Tristan Van Beek on number 1. Now head judge Rich Allen is throwing the flag in the fray. So, again, the wording on the ruling is the line cannot be severed. It cannot be cut. So it can be shaved, trimmed, sanded, etc. But a portion, some portion of that line must be visible.
All right, unfortunately, this stand cut the line, DQ. Your cut was good.
Unbelievable. Tristan Van Beek held it together despite a rocky start for cut number 1. Josh Wilson, who I said at the start of the heat, just needs to make a good cut, was unable to do it. Tristan Van Beek, I see exactly what's wrong. Tristan Van Beek, listen to my voice. You need to change that stand on the bottom of your saw. That came up and hit the log and kicked the saw to the side. Or he needs to change how he presents the saw to the log on that first cut. There is just clear video evidence of exactly what went wrong for Tristan Van Beek on cut number 1. Josh Wilson, I got to watch this myself, Tommy. I got to see where it went wrong. Boy, he scrapes the log on the way up. That kind of kicks the saw. He goes in at an angle. It's fat on the bottom. He goes over second cut. Now it's getting big on the top. He's run out of timber. These saws are 60-plus horsepower, and it is like trying to wrestle an alligator. You watch this cut, you think, well, he could just steer it. He could just guide it. It is absolute chaos running these machines.
Come over here. Talk about your experience the first time on the big stage here at the BMO, and then talk briefly about what happened on that first cut in the hot saw. Regardless, you came out guns blazing, you won the springboard, you stepped up and you showed everyone that you deserve to be here.
Well, you know, the points kind of went up and down. I was middle of the pack. I knew I had to try to go for it, and not sure what happened on the first one, but cleaned it up, got 3 on the deck, so can't complain.
Talk about what it was like to take a win in the springboard right away on your debut. What did that feel like standing on that top board?
Oh, it felt awesome. Felt great. That was my fastest time ever, so I'm happy to have done it here. And yeah.
All right. There you go. Big round of applause, Tristan Van Beek. This is a name you're seeing now, a name you'll be seeing years from now. Great job, Tristan.
Well, we're going to answer Tristan Van Beek's question and show you exactly what went wrong. You see as he comes up to the log, that kickstand, jack stand, whatever you want to call it, off the expansion chamber on the bottom of that saw, comes up and makes contact with the end of that log. Kicks the saw kind of cattywampus. He was dangerously close to cutting out on that second cut, his kind of repair cut. He's now in more of an automatic mode, kept it thin, kept it piloting straight, and actually hit his third mark. It is a feat to get 3 discs on the ground in this hot saw event. He essentially got 4 discs on the ground and got it all done in the allotted 6 inches of wood.
Well, Tristan Van Beek posts a time that means something in the hot saw, believe you me, of 8.01. How competitive that will be, we'll see as we go through there. And what a disappointment for Josh Wilson. Had put himself in position to make the top 4, and that is going to do it for him, that DQ right there.
Things happen with Heat 2 coming up. Dakota Robarge and Trevor Beaudry.
All right, that opens the door for Trevor Beaudry to step right back into the top 4 there. So Trevor Beaudry presented with a great opportunity here, be going up against Dakota Robarge, but it's all about the time and the time to beat. Might be a good idea for Trevor to post a time, and a time that is sub 8.01. Same story for Dakota Robarge.
Yeah, Trevor Beaudry, I hate to say he's going to celebrate the DQ of Josh Wilson, but that certainly opened a window for him. I was watching Beaudry versus Van Beek in that 21-point time coming into the hot saw, and then Josh Wilson's DQ just mixes the pot up completely.
Yeah.
As I was saying, Dave, even the best veteran competitors can just miss something in the hot saw, not locking the throttle, not having the decompression switches. At 200-mile-an-hour chain speed.
30 seconds.
High-pressure oil.
Not a lot of time, a lot of these competitors to get out here on stage, get everything set up, do their warm-up. This is the equivalent of a NASA launch protocol to get these saws to fire.
It is a lot of steps.
That motor nice and hot. Hopefully it's ready to go here. We'll go green.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Beaudry on 2, Robarge on 1. Robarge a little bit slow to the timber. He's got it steered away. Beaudry would look like 3 clean, consistent cuts in about a 6.5 second time.
You need a great cut by Beaudry. Robarge playing it safe. We'll see. He's very thin on his near side.
Looks like clean cuts for both these competitors.
Yep.
There was a bit of a double pump for Robarge.
He's not bad.
The head judge is looking it over just to make sure, but he should be good, I would think.
At a 6 mid 6.
Flags stay in the pocket for both judges.
Both cuts are good.
Official time mid-6s, Trevor. Hey, hold on now. Let's talk about that hot saw. Move to your left a little bit, big guy. Talk about this hot saw. You built this hot saw, but things can happen when you have a carburetor and your shirt. Is this to prevent your shirt from getting sucked in? Talk about that.
Yeah, so where the carburetor sits on the motor, even me, I'm not even that chubby. It can suck your shirt in, and that'll choke it, because how it works is it's basically a pump of air and fuel, and then it blows up and it makes power. So if it sucks your shirt in, it's not sucking in air, and then it's not pulling in fuel from your carburetor, and it stalls the motor, and that's not very good.
You built that saw, correct?
Yeah, I bought the cylinder, but then I've built pretty much everything on it. I 3D modeled and got machined the crankcase, and then designed every other piece of it, other than the pipe. I had a pipe made for it and a bar and chain, but I'm not going to build chains in my basement. So,
all right, congratulations. I know you would have liked today to go a little bit better. I don't believe you're out of it yet. Mathematically, you're still in it. You're in the lead. Not much more to do, buddy. Sit back and watch regardless. Congratulations. What happens? We'll see you again next year if we don't see you Sunday.
Well, I was tied for 4th going in, Dave.
Oh, well, then you're good. You're good. I'm losing track of everybody out there.
Yes, Trevor never hesitates to correct me.
Trevor Beaudry fact-checking Dave Jewett on the spot. You gotta love that. Here's a look at that run from Trevor Beaudry with his custom-built hot saw. 3 clean, consistent discs, plenty of real estate, gets the job done. Trevor Beaudry needed that run. He was tied for 4th coming in. Josh Wilson with a disqualification. Trevor Beaudry with an exceptional time. I think he's got himself locked in at this point.
Yeah, very, very good job right there. Look at that time of 6.44. The official time for Trevor Beaudry. I mean, that in a land of lowered expectations because of the challenging wood here. Boy, that's a strong time.
After 3 events, you know the top 4 that are moving on. And today it's hard to keep track because no one's out of the game.
There's that official time. Personal best, in fact, for Trevor Beaudry is 6.44, puts him in first place. Van Beek right behind, 8:01. Wally Robarge, and then unfortunately Josh Wilson with the DQ. But 2 more heats left. A lot can happen in the hot saw.
With 2 heats remaining, here comes our stage crew. Just get all that sawdust off, making it fair. All the athletes. Here comes our virtual overall leaderboard with 2 heats remaining. Man, that stage looks nice on that style line. Let's hear it for the big stage crew up here.
Well, that's what it's all about right there. You got to be in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th to make it onto the championship final, and that's the way it stands with 2 heats left. Nate Hodges on top, Dakota Robarge behind him, closing the gap a little bit, as a matter of fact. But this is a rolling overall right here we're looking at. It's not complete yet. Trevor Beaudry, though, moving himself up into 3rd place. A good time he's put down. That's important to remember. Trevor Van Beek in the 4th spot.
Tommy, it's a rolling overall, as in Nate Hodges is rolling over the entire field.
Right.
He could go out and get a stein of beer here at German Fest and just watch the rest of this event.
Too much math for
Sounds
me.
pretty good.
I think we're looking at the top 4 already. Here we go, heat 3 of the hot saw. I hate math. Let's give it up, Mike Esch and Calvin Willard.
All right, Mike Esch had himself a great day today. Good day. He's got a little ground to make up, but Mike Esch, you know, he's the technician. As you said, Kevin, he can engineer something pretty big time here in the hot saw. We'll see how well he does. Going up against Calvin Willard.
And Tommy, as a fellow graybeard, along with Mike Esch, I've learned as I age to use the machines. And that's exactly what Mike Esch has done here today.
Warm up your
stock saw, and now I think here in a hot saw, watch for him to put on a clinic. Use the machines, Mike.
Yes, they're labor saving. Yes, absolutely. He's going to have to post the best time, though, if he wants to somehow have a shot at the top 4.
And he's in a position to play disruptor too.
Yeah.
Just get up in the points and just muddy it all about.
Yeah.
Rewrap those recoils, hit those key compression switches. let's not forget about the tether. There's a tether.
30 seconds.
These are a direct drive. It's a throwaway handle. If your handle goes into the other athlete's zone, it's a DQ, so there is a tether to keep it within their area. But again, watch the power of Esch's saw. Watch the speed into the log of Calvin on the right.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Calvin Willard first to the wood. Oh, the trouble at the bottom. The chain twists. You see sparks fly on the stage. That Jerry Gingras contribution to that hot saw for Calvin Willard is evident on that stage. What an absolute run. He was so just focused on getting that transition. He may have swiped the chain on the bottom of that block. If not, he came in a little crooked. I'm not sure what all happened. We'll see if Chris keeps his flag in his pocket.
1.1 seconds. No yellow flags flying.
Looks good. No flags flying. Good news for both of these athletes. What a run from Calvin Willard, and what an amazing feat that he kept that chain on the bar and kept the thing through to the finish.
Both cuts are good.
Calvin in 6:06. I'm thinking he's going to be in the high fives. Calvin, let's talk about what happened on that upcut. You were into the wood. I always think do you time yourself into the wood? Isn't it you're about a 1.1? And then talk about what happened on the transition.
Yeah, just the frame hooked the log a little bit. I like being tight to the log just so you can be over the saw, but you know, you're flirting with that tight clearance between your frame and the log when you do that. So it hung up there for too long.
And just no hesitation. Some athletes will come out the wood. They'll actually give it a light. They call it burping it, just letting off the throttle briefly. Some athletes hold that throttle wide open. To me, it looked like you never let off.
Yeah, it's a race, so you might as well just hold the throttle.
Well, Calvin, thanks. Great job today. We're going to look at this interview. Hopefully you can hang on. We're going to look at this replay. I'm sorry. Hopefully you can stay here for just a second. And we're going to see what happened. You said you caught your frame. Now watch the speed of Willard. Talk about it.
Willard super quick to the top.
Yeah, so it was a little high over the wood, but hit the wood probably in 1-2, which isn't bad. Out of the wood, and then right there, leaned forward a little too much and hooked the frame.
So it's the frame just above the chain where the chain comes out of the power head. Yeah, you're right. You backed up. And watch this third cut. You're just laying on it. Calvin, some of the athletes get behind the saw and they just let the speed of the saw do the work. Can you actually get over these engines and actually push down without them stalling?
Oh, absolutely. If you can get over the saw, you can put more weight than if you're standing back. But again, you run the risk of being too close to the log, which I think I was on that run.
All right, thanks. Hey, big round of applause coming all the way from Barnett, Vermont. One of the best hot sawyers in the world, Calvin Willard. 1 heat remaining.
Calvin Willard, great job right there. That might hold up and be the top time in the hot saw, 5.95. Trevor Beaudry hanging in there. And 6.44, Mike Esch, 7.26. Tristan Van Beek posted a time. That's important. We'll see if he can hang on there. He's going to need some help probably to stay in that top 4. Then it's Robarge and Wilson in 5th and 6th place with 1 heat remaining in the hot saw. Overall points with 1 heat remaining. Nate Hodges, he's in. Dakota Robarge looking good. Beaudry in 3rd, Van Beek in 4th. After that, Josh Wilson, Mike Esch, Calvin Willard, and Zach Browse coming up in this final heat of the hot saw.
Tommy, Nate Hodges' mantra in this hot saw event is there is no replacement for displacement. He is running the largest displacement motor in the field, over 425 cc's. I think it's actually 430 cc's. Matt Bush, I think, was one of the last ones to really experiment with large displacement motors.
This is the event that propelled him to a world title, to a national title. This is probably the most powerful hot saw in the world. Hodges on the right.
Two impressive personal bests there, a 5.51 for Zach Browse. Always tough in the hot saw. He's going up against the world champion, the U.S. champion, defending champion. Look at that personal best, 4.79.
Warm up your saws.
That's never encouraging
No,
when the saw just kind of coughs and dies here in the warm-up period. These competitors had 5 minutes to warm up and tune their saws off the side of the stage. There it goes, coughs to life. A little sigh of relief from Nate Hodges there. There is no recoil on these chainsaws for the folks at home. They are a throwaway starter cord. There's no clutch. It is a direct drive. You have a pulley on one side of the motor that you wrap the starter cord around. Directly behind that pulley is the chain. It is all directly attached to the crankshaft. No clutch, no give, no parts to break.
And this is, it's a free run. To him, this is the finals. He's going for a world title in his mind right now. This is going to be him again on Sunday. Watch Hodges on the right. Just going for it. Don't count out Browse.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Hodges super quick away from the wood, super quick to the wood. Trouble for Zach Browse. That saw is not coming up to speed. Look at the time posted for Nate Hodges. 4:41 showing as his unofficial time. Zach Browse trying to breathe life into that saw. Does not have throttle, does not have fuel. I don't know what's going on with Zach Browse. Zach Browse gets 3 minutes. I believe the judges are going to have to correct me if I'm wrong, but this event is not over until Zach Browse. Let's see this. I think the judges are walking in to see what Zach says. There it is. There's the flag for Zach Browse. But what a run for Nate Hodges.
Well, we got one today, a world record.
Gentlemen, confirmed. That's a new world record we just saw.
DQ on this stand, did not finish, your cut was good.
Well, Tommy, here in the qualifiers, it's best to post a safe cut. You know, just kind of take your time.
Keep her down the middle.
Keep her down the middle.
I mean,
don't
crushed it, dude.
Unless.
Come on over here. Ow. Ow, man. I mean, crushed it. This place is a magnet for records. Your debut here, you broke the springboard national record. You just laid down a hot saw time that every competitor in 30 timber sports countries around the world is watching on the live stream saying, I cannot believe what I just saw. You had the opportunity. You knew where you were in. You knew you were in. You grasped it. Talk about it.
Shoot, Dave, man, there's a long story to talk about. We'll make it short and sweet. Greg Brewer, fastest chains on the planet. I think we just proved that. DC hot saws, fastest saws on the planet. I think we just proved that as well. I've got so many people got my back. I've got Komatsu's out here in the crowd supporting me. I mean, and we got a crowd here that probably adds at least 5 horsepower to that saw. I mean, we got an amazing crowd out here. Awesome wood crew. Hell of a job by Stihl, Adam Wolf, the whole crew, the judges. I mean, that feels better than winning the world championship, I'm not gonna lie.
A broken pipe, a broken crankshaft, broken throttle linkage, all fixed relatively at the last second. And you said, I have to learn to become a mechanic if I'm going to win the hot saw.
Yeah, Dave, there's a new slogan. I think we gotta have a shirt. It's broken chains, broken parts, and broken hearts. I said it last year. I think it's cool. It's a true story. Who knows who hearts we're going to break this year, but it's pretty dang cool.
We're going to take a look at the determination on your face right now. Nate, buckle up for the replay. This has never happened before. Look at this, Nate.
Yeah, the old hot saw face. She's one of a kind.
Did you know it was a world record when it came off?
No, but I knew that was the best cut I could make out here.
Looking at it, you had a slight hover over the top. Personally, I think you can go faster. Do you think you can?
Fair enough, probably.
All right. Hey, big round of applause. I think we'll see him in the finals.
Always room for advancement, always looking for those next fractions of a second. A world record run, and already discussion of how it could have been faster. Just a slight hover, a slight hesitation over the top of that log. Yes, there is time there yet to gain, but wow, that saw was absolutely, he credited the chain, he credited the saw, but that man right there with 2 arms in the air, he's the one driving and did an exceptional job here in Milwaukee.
Let's look at those scores. That world record now stands at 4.28 seconds. That is that is unbelievable. And you say, how could he possibly do better than that? If it was anyone else, you might say it may not ever be broken, but with Nate Hodges, you don't know.
You know, he's talking about t-shirts and slogans. I got one for him. Yeah. 4 flat. 4 flat.
Okay. That may happen tomorrow.
It might happen tomorrow.
It could be. Man, my goodness. Nate Hodges there, dominating the field with 44 points. Dakota Robarge, 32, second place. Trevor Beaudry in third place with 27. And Tristan Van Beek, the rookie, started out like a ball of fire with the win. And the springboard chop hangs in there for the 4th spot. And there he is. Van Beek 4th. Van Beek, Beaudry, Robarge, and Hodges.
First heat of the hot saw coming out on position 1. Let's hear it for Alex Storm. On position 2, Mark Beauquin.
Alex Storm coming up on stand number 1. Alex Storm having a good day out here today, but got to do well in the hot saw here if he wants to bust through in the top 4 and make it to the finals. Going up against Mark Beauquin, who stands in the top 4 right now, in 4th place, as a matter of fact.
Well, Tommy, I don't know if we can start a GoFundMe or some sort of associated fundraiser, but I'd like to start a fund to buy Mark Beauquin a better crankcase side cover. Right now he's running, looks like a number 10 can with some bungee cords. I can't get behind this. I feel like we got to help the guy out.
Yeah.
Right now, Dave, they're going down this checklist in their
there's a shot.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Would you contribute? Would you help the guy out?
He's trying to cage it with some green wire. I don't know how sound of practice that is. He knows better than I do.
30 seconds.
The switch, the ignition switch. You're not kidding. Beauquin on the right.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both saws away. That's a good step number 1. Trouble on stand 2, though, for Mark Beauquin. As he fans, he misses that transition at the bottom of the block. Both of these guys, though, posting really solid times. Beauquin, not necessarily known as an exceptional hot saw operator. Alexander Storm just learning the sport as well. For both of these guys to be around that 6.5 second mark, the mutual fist bump there is like, hey, buddy, way to go. We both just survived that and posted some solid times.
Say that, Dave. That's like the Tony Romo announcer's jigs when a kicker's about to come up and kick a field goal. That was rude.
Both cuts are good.
There we go. Both cuts are good. Beauquin's got to be jacked up. Storm jacked up.
Storm's jacked. Great cut. You did what you needed to do. You know, they say in sports you don't have to be more than yourself, just be more of yourself. You made a good cut, a safe cut. We're thinking you're in the finals, buddy. Talk about your day.
Yeah, this is a good hot saw pool, so we'll see what happens. That was a PR for me because I've never made a clean hot saw run in Steel Timber Sports, so I'm happy with that. Otherwise, good day, ups and downs, keep a level head, and just go on to the next event. So that's what it takes to try to be competitive in these events.
Boy, you get the Attaboy Award, the Consistency Award today. We're proud of you, buddy. We're going to see what happens. Regardless, you can have a beer, but first, how about a shout-out?
I just want to say thank you to my fiance and her mom and her dad for coming out and supporting me. They made a great sign for me, and that's been helping me along the whole way. So, newly fiance.
All right, go celebrate, buddy. There's the sign right there. Severe thunderstorm
warning. We love it.
Well, here we go. Here's the rising storm as we get to the top of this log. A little bit of a hesitation at the block, but Boquin is down through and fans the edge of that second cut. Gets it pulled back together. He's in the block. Doesn't matter, though. Alex Storm, look at the lean. Harry Burnsworth approved of that lean on that third cut from Alexander Storm, stand number 1. Harry Burnsworth used to say, I'll tell you when you're pushing hard enough, your feet will come off the stage.
3 heats remaining. Alex Storm, though, high five to that guy. Well, how many times do we see athletes overcorrect when they have the swing and a miss, and then they just say, oh my Lord, I got to get back into this log, and then, oh boy, they start cutting cakes instead of cookies.
All right, Alex Storm came to play today, absolutely. Personal best for him in the hot saw, the 6.48. Ditto for Mark Boquin, 6.62. Both of these guys came into the hot saw, the final discipline of the day, in the top 4. They are doing their job, and they've shorn it up a little bit. They've added to their position. Let's see if they can hold on.
All right, you see the judges out there marking that 6-inch line on these logs. They go out there, they inspect. You'll see the judges hit the deck to make sure those lines are still there. And we've seen athletes in the past, Dave, where they have they've got done with their 3 cuts, it was outside of the 6-inch line, and then their saw will bump up and touch the other side of it, just nick that wood, and that's technically cutting over the line. That's
I did it. I lost. Stihl sponsored a national title one time. I lost it. I came down, the saw hit the deck, bounced up on the other side of that 6-inch line. Cost Matt Koger a national title a few years back, and that's when Cassidy Shear won the national title here on this stage. Cassidy was in the hot seat. Matt Koger was going for the win, bounced up. Cassidy got his win. He did it right, went on to take 2nd in the world. And we're just waiting patiently to get the Stihl logo on there for heat number 2. And it won't be long, and Pool C will be coming up, and we're gonna do it all over again.
I'm looking at these hot saws out here right now. I love Cassidy's saw. Purple Rain up here on the stage. Name that saw. These are some big, big motors. Over 300 cc's on the stage right now. You know they're running those 404 high-tooth chains. But all right, let's bring them out. Our next heat of the hot saw on position 1, your local boy. Let's hear a big yo-ho for Cassidy Shear. On position 2, Logan Scarborough.
Should be a good race here as well. Cassidy Shear on stand number 1, the former U.S. champion over there, and Logan Scarborough. Both got very close on personal best times as it stands right now. They both like to notch a new personal best in this heat right now.
Logan Scarborough, said it a couple of times, is worth repeating again, though, rejoining the Stihl Timber Sports Series.
Warm
this
up your
hot saw
saws.
event is part of that learning curve, a steep part of that learning curve. And he's been doing very well. Posted his best time ever last year to 6.35. And based on the time you saw in that first heat, he's going to have to shave a little more off of that.
Yep. Shear inside the top 4 as it stands now. Scarborough outside. Take down Cassidy, that'd be a good step toward making it back into the top 4, who will qualify for the final.
30 seconds.
But the alcohol can mess with it, get real temperamental in atmospheric conditions. So see, once that recoil, then they're going to put that tether on again. It's a throwaway handle, Dave. The tether must be connected to keep that throwaway handle in your zone. Well, that LeBron chalk move there by Cassidy. He's feeling it. Here we go.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Logan a little bit behind the gun. Cassidy Shear with trouble at the start of that cut. Oh boy. That is not a lot of real estate. I don't think he cut over the line, but I also don't think Logan Scarborough has 3 complete discs on stand number 2. It was disaster on both of these stands. I think Cassidy's fine in the end. He had a little bit of he had to double pump the clutch at the start of cut number 1.
It's just going to be so unfortunate he misses the finals again this year, Dave. He said having such a great day. But Scarborough, the chain can make a curve almost a half-inch wide. You go down 3 times, you've blown out almost a full inch and plus of wood. And we'll see that on the replay, but unfortunate for stand number 2. You're going to have to hide from Scarborough's wife after this one for doing that jinx you did, where we haven't thrown a flag all day right before this heat game. You're in trouble.
Okay, DQ here. Cut the line, incomplete disc. Your cut was good.
Cassidy, small blowout on that. Trouble for both of you athletes. Unfortunately, Scarborough a disqualification. Talk about what it's like going into this final heat of the hot saw.
Yeah, I mean, this is a unique pool. I've never seen a pool so tight before, and usually if you cut clean in the semis, I get through no problem, and the hot saw doesn't even matter. I haven't made any big mistakes today. It's been decent with small mistakes, and it's going to be tight. I mean, I won't be surprised if it comes down to a tie that goes to a tie break.
Well, let's magnify this mistake. We're going to have it on the big screen. Cassidy, if you want to talk us through on the monitor down here, here's your start.
Yeah, so what happened here is that I don't really care about hot saw that much, and this is the 3rd time I've run it this year. So to actually recover like that and make 3 complete cuts is actually like decent, and I'll take it, and I'm not upset.
Good job, great job today, Cassidy. We're going to see you in the finals unofficially tomorrow. I'm thinking we are. Cassidy Shear representing Hayward, Wisconsin. Most likely heading
to the finals, and here we go again, Dave. What do you
There's that run with Purple Rain. Cassidy Shear's hot saw just got up, got crooked, back handle over a little bit. Boy, he came really close to getting over that line, though. It takes a lot to get an extra cut in there, and that's what Logan Scarborough is learning right here. It's hard to get 3 good cuts in 6 inches of timber. Getting 4 cuts or 3.5 cuts in is nearly impossible.
Beautiful transition, beautiful 3 cuts after.
Cassidy Shear's time is 7:19, good enough only for 3rd place right now. And of course, Logan Scarborough with the incomplete cookie and the DQ, that ends his day, his quest to make the championships. Take a look at our overall rolling points tracking here. Shows Alexander Storm on top and Shear in 2nd place. Now that's 7.19. Will that give him enough insurance to make it into the top 4? He's looking good now, but we got a couple of very tough heats coming up. Could be very tough on him.
I know there's so many athletes that still have a shot here to edge their way into this. The points are so tight there, heading down through 6th place. It's anybody's race still here to get in and punch their ticket to tomorrow's final.
And it is an advantage for these athletes that we have that are still out back. It's an advantage to see what happened in heat 1 and 2. They know that they have to go, hey, these guys made a few mistakes. They know exactly how to run the saw to get in the 7 seconds, the 6 seconds, the 5s. There's 4 athletes that are now in the 4-second range. I believe there's only 4 that have accomplished that. But that's an advantage you have of sitting backstage and watching. But again, sometimes you go safe. That's just as dangerous too. You hit that throttle. You want to get that saw into the wood. If you're holding that saw over the log full throttle, you got the chain that's going to kick you up and down. The tailpipe's going to kick you left to right. And so let's bring out the next heat. 3rd heat, Aaron Hovis versus Billy Cornelius. Billy
Cornelius, an animal in the hot saw. He's not going to make it in. So he has the luxury of just going for it and putting on a show. Absolutely.
All right, next heat in the hot saw. Aaron Hovis on stand number 1. Going up against Billy Cornelius. Billy sort of fighting for his his right to stay out here competing in these U.S. championships. If you finish in the final spot, you get relegated for a prescribed period of time, so he doesn't want to do that. Going to need a heroic performance in the hot saw in order to maybe avoid that.
Both these guys looking for top finishes in the hot saw for very different reasons.
Yeah, yes, true.
And Tommy, both these guys, frankly, are hot saw geeks. Not afraid to say it, and they're probably proud to wear that badge.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a couple of fast times. Again, both of these guys with very different motivations. Billy Cornelius trying to stay alive for next season. Aaron Hovis trying to stay alive for the finals.
You see they've got those bands around their waist. That is keeping their jerseys from being sucked into the carburetor. You've seen that happen with the amount of vacuum that can happen. It actually
30 seconds.
competitor jersey can pull into the intake and just slow the saw. Like that measuring technique, Hovis using his hand as a gauge. Place that saw down exactly where he doesn't have to think about it. He can just reach down, hold over, and wave it at this law. You're looking at about $24,000 of engines up here.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Slight advantage, Cornelius to the block. Trouble at the transition. Trouble with his motor. It is falling on its face. Sounds like it's starving for fuel. Aaron Hovis not waiting around. 6-second near flat time. Now he's Aaron Hovis gives the thumbs up to our head judge, Rich Judge. Yeah, it's good, Rich. It's good. It's there. I think Rich is going to just take a moment and take a look for himself.
Just double check.
Wheels came off for Cornelius on that upcut.
Unfortunate break for Billy Cornelius. He absolutely needed to post some big steal points there just to stay alive, just to be able to come back next year. And that saw was absolutely falling on its face.
Saw a little bit while they're analyzing this disc for Aaron Hovis. If need be, they can go to the video review. Here's the call.
Both cuts are good.
Man, what a battle for these athletes.
I'd like to get an answer from Billy here. Billy was so fast into the wood. You okay for an interview, bud? Yeah. So fast into the wood. The down cut looked beautiful. I couldn't tell what happened. Yesterday, one of the athletes caught their frame on the up cut. Is that what happened to you?
No, I've been having some carb issues with the saw, and I got a carb kit mailed in here to Milwaukee, and I rebuilt the carb Friday in my trailer out here, and never had any wood to actually test it in, so I kind of got the jets set where I thought they should be, and obviously it wasn't quite right for today. So.
Okay, Billy, we're going to take a look at your cut on the monitor here. It's hot, it's humid out. Tell me, did that affect your saw? Here we go.
It definitely could. I mean, the first cut was pretty good, and then the second, it just kind of ran out of fuel, so probably needed a little more on the high side on the carburetor, and yeah, I just had to let off the pressure all the way to just get the saw to stay running. So pretty disappointed in that, and I usually do pretty well in the hot saw.
Well, Billy, you're one of the fastest in the world into the wood. Your technique is dialed in. Get your saw fixed, buddy. We're going to see you next year. Hey, thank you again for the great interviews. Billy Cornelius, always a good sport here in Milwaukee.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, it's a very tough break for Billy Cornelius, but let's look at this run on stand number 1 from Aaron Hovis. Around a 6-second time. Very thick disc on that second cut. Follows it up with a pretty hefty disc on the third cut. I was laughing up here in the booth, though, because Aaron Hovis gets down. He checks for the line and gives a thumbs up to our head judge. Like, it's okay, Rich, it's there.
Your career, that is just gutsy stuff. That's what we just touched on earlier. You buy a hot saw.
Watch this right here. He goes, yeah, it's okay, Rich.
Looking
it's good. Yeah.
It all checks out.
Yeah,
hey,
you can just stay over there.
Why not? Why not do that? It doesn't cost anything. Aaron Hovis sitting on top with a good time of 5.87. I don't know if that's going to be enough to keep him into the top 4. We have one more heat remaining. Alex Storm in second place. Overall point show, Alex Storm up in first place. So, yeah, it's not looking good for Aaron Hovis. Walt Page really needs to do something spectacular here. He's coming up in our final heat along with Matt Koger, so a lot to look forward to coming up in the hot saw. Our final discipline of the 6 in Pool B action here, trying to qualify for tomorrow's championship final.
Yeah, I'm going over this with Dave right now. He's trying to calculate. He's got fingers and toe math going on. He's trying to see what Walt's got to do to punch his ticket. Well, everybody in this pool has got to go. Everybody. And when Matt Koger comes up, if he comes in and eclipses that leading score, he's going to shift all the points down. It's going to bobble things up even more.
Yeah, this is going to mix everything up, Dave. It is so hard to analyze all these athletes and do this crazy math at the end. That this is just a mirror image of what we saw in Pool A yesterday. Remember, Pool C coming up at 4:30 today. We're going to do this all over again. And then the women national championships at 8 o'clock. So we got a big, big day still ahead, and we're only a third of the way through. Final heat of Pool B. Final heat of the hot saw. Let's bring them out, Walt Page and Matt Koger.
This is it, the final heat of the hot saw. This will wrap up Pool B action here today. Walt Page sitting down there outside the top 4 as it stands right now. Very critical position right here. Going up against, well, the man with the, of course, the giant lead there. Matt Koger, our 7-time world champion.
Matt Koger can almost do no wrong, but he can mess up a lot of things for a lot of people. The placement of Matt Koger and Walt Page is going to absolutely scramble the points at the top. That leaderboard is a breathing, living document.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's right. It's very much live, to be sure.
Like launch procedure begins. These guys rewind their tether cords. There is no recoil on these saws. It is a one and done throwaway tether cord.
30 seconds.
They're locking in their throttle, pushing in decompression valves. The very last action, when they get the final call for hands on the wood, will be to reach down, turn on their oiler, or open the valve for their oiler.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Wow, Matt Koger was very close on that start. Leaving nothing to chance. Matt Koger pulls a 5:46. Walt Page has disaster. Oh, this is no good.
Not gonna go.
No good. What a disastrous ending for Walt Page on stand 1. A little bit of extra flair there from head judge Rich Hallett as he dispenses that flag.
Yeah.
There may be 2 good cuts in there, but that's about it.
Just good over here. DQ on this stand, incomplete disc. Your cut was good.
For Walt, he had a stellar day up here on the stage, but it all came down to the hot saw in this pool for just about 7 of the athletes.
Walt, trouble in the hot saw.
Here's that run from Matt Koger, just grazes the edge of the log on the way up to the top, and then just gets automatic with that saw. 3 clean cuts. In contrast with that cut on stand number 1 with Walt Page, he needed absolutely everything, and he was not able to pull it together.
Another shift in life. Would you like to be? Can I get you to comment
on that?
Yeah, you know, Dave, I've had a lot of fun over the years doing timber sports, and you know, the time's come to move on and do some other things. So, yeah, this is probably my last time here.
Big round of applause for Walt Page. This man is the fastest springboarder in the world, and he said, Dave, I got a beautiful family, I've got a lot of land, I want to go enjoy that. It's a ballsy move, buddy, ending the sport in your prime. One more round of applause for Walt Page. And you're not leaving. You got a good friend back home you got to give a shout out to.
Yeah, hey William, hope you're enjoying, buddy. That's it.
All right, Walt, go have a beer, buddy. Walt Page, Matt Koger.
Matt Koger really tight on that go, was not waiting around for anything, a little bit heavy on that first disc, gets him off clean though, very thin on that third cut, gets it done though. Disaster though for Walt Page, the pressure, the lights, it can get to you on this stage. You can see every time he blips that throttle, that is like a bucking bronco you are trying to harness with just your bare hands. Did not come together for Walt Page.
Well, the top time going to be, of course, Matt Koger, the 5:37, takes top points there ahead of Aaron Hovis' good time of 5.87. Personal best for him, Storm, and Bo Quinn right there. Bo Quinn certainly needed it there, and it worked in this case. And Walt Page, kind of a shocker to hear him announce his retirement here. We'll have to process that. We'll sure hate to see him go. He's part of the culture here, that is for sure. But here's the important business of Pool B. Take a look at that. Mark Boquin, Cassidy Shear, Alexander Storm, and Matt Koger are going to move on to the final round, along with Nate Hodges, Dakota Robards, Trevor Beaudry, and Tristan Van Beek. We've got 8 of our 12 set for tomorrow's final in the Steel Timber Sports U.S. Championships. Man, good competition today, so tight, and a lot of surprises and a big one at the end, hearing about Walt Page.
Yeah, I'm just crushed to see Walt Page leave in that way. I wanted to see him go on a positive note, but the points battle today was undeniable. Points stacked so tight, so many ties that had to be broken. It was one of the tightest days of qualifying that I can ever remember seeing.
This is Brad Jones and David Moses Jr.
Well, Tommy, I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit sad to say that this is shaping up. This is the last event for David Moses here in the Steel Timber Sports Series. But what an event to go out on. He is an exceptional saw operator. He's got that motor tuned beautifully. He's got it detailed beautifully, showing off his sponsor. We love to see that. We've loved all the years on this stage from David Moses Jr., and I can only hope he sends this out with an absolute bang.
I second that emotion for sure. Very much important part of the scene for 3 decades, Timber Sports.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both saws light off. Rookie on the left, Federn on the right. This is not how David Moses wanted to end it, with a cutout on his second cut. Brad Jones also hands on his head, showing disgust. We believe it's a line cut for Brad Jones. Flags flying. Both stands 1 and stands 2. I don't know, Tommy, mulligan, do it over?
Yeah, fine with me.
Yeah.
Never happened.
We all learned something. We'll move forward. Let's just do this again.
Yeah. It's a win-win.
Both cuts are bad.
Clearly the crowd in disagreement with Rich Hallett.
Yes.
Even though they were clearly bad from about a half-mile away.
Yeah.
Still
A
good to see him
treasured tradition here.
That was
Booing the
dirty,
referee.
Brad. Brad, we're going to keep you away from Rich Hallett and let you calm down. Brad, you had a great cut going, buddy. You've had a great day. You came in to that third cut, slammed it in, and you just hit that 6-inch line. Tell us what you could have done different.
Taking a little more time on that third one. That's about all it sums up to it. I moved the bar over too far. I had plenty of room. I had, shoot, 3 inches probably. I just moved the bar over more than the saw, and it was crooked.
Hey, your first year in Steel Timber Sports. Most likely we're going to see you again, buddy. Tell us about your experience here in Milwaukee.
I'm loving it. Yeah, no, I'm happy to be here. Like I said, first cut, you know, I'm just glad to have made it into the top 8 with these guys. They're all phenomenal cutters, and you know, that was a goal of mine to just be here. And now I know I can at least semi-hold my own, even on a bad stretch.
All right, train up, buddy. We're going to see him again. Big round of applause for Brad Jones. You want to get Moses?
Well, disaster strikes both stand 1 and stand 2, but at different times. I'll turn your attention to stand 2 first, right here on this upcut. A little bit crooked setup for David Moses Jr. Tough times on stand 1 there on the third cut, on the down cut. Didn't have his power head squared up to the end of the log. You heard it from the man himself, Brad Jones. He had plenty of timber there, 3 inches to sneak that last cut in, but you've got to stay parallel to that line. Again, if the line is severed, if it's completely cut through, that is a disqualification. He deleted almost the entirety of that line.
So a couple of DQs to start. We hate to see that happen, but that is not unusual, not unheard of in the world of the hot saw. Hope we see better performances on the way. I know we will, but yeah, that's the unfortunate truth, and it's a precarious last event of the day.
Especially my father, who was my first coach, and then my children and grandchildren. I have 13 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren. Well, David, it has been a pleasure, my friend. Awesome seeing you again. Give it up for David Moses, everybody! What a moment, Dave. What a moment.
All right, next heat of the hot saw, Arden Koger Jr. and Tyler White.
Well, Tommy, the time to beat right now is all time.
No time, time.
We've set, yeah, just anything. Give us anything.
The time to beat is any measurement of time.
Yeah, 2 DQs right out of the gate. That's a tough break for Brad and David Moses Jr.
Well, here we go.
Warm up your saws.
Tyler White and Arden Koger Jr. Going to give it their best shot here.
I love what I see over on stand number 1. I don't want to call Arden Koger Jr. vintage or classic, but his hot saw certainly is. That is a good old Russ Lemke built Rotex powered hot saw. It is a twin. It is a cousin to the one I used to run. It's a twin or cousin to the one that Dave Jewett used to run, or still runs, I should say. It just is a classic performer in this hot saw event. Starting to get outpaced by some of the newer builds, but still a stalwart favorite in the hot saw.
See, they're turning on their boilers right at the last second.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Launch sequence activated. Tyler White very quick to the log. Trouble for Arden Koger Jr. It sounds like his saw is starving for fuel. He is all over the place and is not going to get 3 complete discs. Our veterans are falling apart on this stage.
Waiting for to get that bar into the wood and a disqualification, but I think Tyler White, and I heard you say, come on, Tyler, come on, buddy, and I think he heard you, Dave. Tyler White unofficially 3 good.
So Tyler White looking clean and green right now. No flag from Chris on stand number 2. Rich, our judge for stand number 1, obviously throwing a flag for Arden Koger Jr. Tyler White showing a time sub 7 seconds.
Who's this guy screaming out there? This guy's pumped up. There he is. This guy right here. Yeah, we gotta get him. He better show up tomorrow. No, he's gotta show up tonight for the ladies.
DQ, incomplete disc. Your cut was good.
Good call for Tyler. Give him a big round of applause.
Tyler, buddy, you look like you jumped in a pool. Dave just told me this is the 3rd hot saw you've owned. Is that a fact?
That is a fact.
Why?
Well, the first one blew up all the time. The second one was a little too slow. This one, we're getting there. So we're improving as we go.
And how do we improve? Is that a bigger piston? Is that better chain filing? Where do we go from here? Because, buddy, you made a great cut.
Well, I could have done that a little better because there was a little anticipation at the end on my part, which I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't. Better chain, and I need to tune it. It was a little fat out here, but it's really humid. So tuning, better chain, and I got to practice my starts.
All right, buddy, you're done for the day. You can have a beer. All we can do now is sit back. Absolutely.
Thank you, Dave.
There you go. Tyler White says, I am looking forward to a beer. Something tells me this guy down here's had a couple beers.
Let's watch this start from Tyler White. Looks pretty quick and clean. Nice thin disc. Boy, about as thin as you want to get in this hot saw event. Left him plenty of real estate though for his other 2 cuts. Did start to pull back a little prematurely. Arden Koger Jr. missed the start here, but had all kinds of trouble, and he's trying to steer that saw up. I don't think it's running right. Didn't get complete cuts. Arden Koger Jr. not going to be happy with that run. Capable of significantly better with that saw.
All right, Tyler White, so far the only athlete to post a time, not too bad, 6.59. Tyler White finds himself in the top 4 right now, and you say, well, but there are two more heats to go. Well, look at the leaderboard right now.
Yeah, we're
anything
towards,
can happen.
Yeah, we're headed towards batting 500 in this this pool when it comes to the hot saw. I don't know, just chaos everywhere.
Yeah, there's Tyler White as we look at our overall standing. Still Slingerland, Lentz, Nicely, and White. But Foreman is yet to cut. Lentz still to cut. Slingerland still to cut.
And how about another big shout out to our deck crew, Dave? They've been working hard all weekend. All these events keeping it flowing just flawless. Throwing those 9-foot springboard poles up. You don't even notice that they're there. They just don't get the recognition. Absolutely not. They are the best in the business. So fast, so efficient. Always have a plan. Give them a big round of applause. Let's hear it for the whole crew.
All right, big heat coming up. Super Dave. And look at those hot saws. Those are brand new machines up there. When you're saying these are like $10,000 to $12,000 a piece now.
Boy, when I started, you got one for about $5,000, but there's so much. You know, back when I was in the game, 6 seconds was winning. If you got into the 5s, it was unbelievable. Now we have 4 athletes that are in the 4s. The world record was broke here yesterday, 4.2 seconds with a 430cc engine. You've got to come back. Watch the women tonight at 8. Watch the men's finals at 2 o'clock tomorrow. You're going to see this 430 engine coming out looking for a second world title.
Absolutely. All right, Dave, who do we got coming up next?
We have the third heat. This is Grant Foreman and Ben Nicely.
Going to be Grant Foreman on stand number 1, Ben Nicely on stand number 2 here. The time to beat, a 6.59. This is the third heat of the hot saw here. The third of 4 heats. We are getting down to the short rows, as they say in the farming business.
Well, Tommy, stand number 1, Grant Foreman, I feel like he should always be there. He should be part of the hot saw conversation, and he is. He's done well, but I just feel like he should be dominating. He's got that logical, mechanical, engineering mindset in his approach to everything, and I'm wondering if we just got to see Grant just send it.
One thing we can look at the depth. Look at the bars, the difference. Everybody focuses on the engine, the chain. Look at the power saw. That's a matter of for Grant Foreman on the left. It's more to get out of the wood before the exchange. A thinner, shallower bar. We're bent nicely, and it allows
30 seconds. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
We got ignition, but we got trouble for Grant Foreman as he hesitates at the top of that block. You can see him being very deliberate and setting up his cuts. Oh, I don't like the, We'll shut that thing. Oh. Mighty thick stack of discs there on stand number 2.
Yeah.
That stays in his pocket. He's going to be lucky, and I'm going to tell you why in a second.
Lots of conversation here over stand number 2.
By Ben Nicely. No, there's laundry on the deck over there. You didn't see the flag fly?
Yeah.
Well, right now the flag is flown on Ben Nicely's side.
Ben Nicely, 2 discs.
DQ on this stand, incomplete disc. Your cut was good.
Wow. So my concern was Grant Foreman, that saw was running. Grant Foreman came off, that saw was still full throttle, and that saw turned towards the crowd. There is a rule, you cannot have an active throttled saw turn towards the crowd. Judge made the decision, it wasn't dangerous enough. Stick around, big guy. That's a good cut. But they hyperanalyze these things. Grant, talk about that guy. Frankly, I don't know what you were waiting for, buddy. You had some hesitation. You were lined up, but you didn't like what you saw. You hesitated.
Yeah, I knew I needed to make 3 cuts, so I wanted to make certain that I was squared over the log. That's a big motor. When you hit the throttle, it will torque on you, so I wanted to make sure it was calm before it went in the wood. So I got the 3 cuts, and yes, I was aware of the rules, so before I kicked the disc, I made sure I didn't point it at the crowd.
Yeah, you caught it in time. I was watching that as well. Talk about this engine. I'm losing track of all you guys. Is it a 330?
That's a 370. So actually had a little issue with it last week where the crank was bent. Had to rebuild it over the weekend on Saturday with the help of some friends, including Cole Armbruster and some guys back home. So we got it rebuilt. It's running good. I was hoping to have to do a full send today, but just needed 3 cuts, and it's cutting well.
I think we're going to be seeing you tomorrow. Let's wait officially. Big round of applause for Grant Foreman from Marysville, Ohio.
Tommy, not to be critical of Grant Foreman, but I think there's something in between the hesitation and the just try to get 3 cuts. There's a certain thing when you get out of your natural rhythm, you get out of that muscle memory, and you're sort of trying to steer it. It's the same thing in springboard. When you're laying in hits to cut a springboard pocket, you're like, boy, that's a really good pocket. I just need one little hit. And you try to carry or float that axe in. It's not part of your natural rhythm. So no, he didn't need full send, but establishing that rhythm and establishing a pace where you're just smooth, consistent, and comfortable, that would be my advice, I guess, from my high seat up here in the TV booth.
From Mount Olympus up here. Yeah, that first disc for Nicely was no-go. And, well, the Grant Foreman did himself a world of good to put 3 discs on the floor there, albeit a 9:29. Doesn't matter. He's going to get a time. Right now, he's got 7 points. There's your overall standings. Slingerland, Lentz riding high right now. Good for the top 4 to be sure.
Well, look at that. Even with a DQ, as it stands now, with a actually, it can't change. Yeah.
No.
With that DQ and Ben Nicely, he is still in.
Yeah.
What a day.
How about that?
For Ben Nicely.
Man, it's a great point.
Work out just fine, a slow time, and he knows how to pick that up in the final.
Yeah, it'll pay dividends for him to get a nice clean cut unless these 2 finish behind White and in between them. This is going to be tough right here. I know that Maddie is pumped up to have this saw fixed this week after having issues last week. And then Jason Lentz, I mean, this dude is an absolute animal in the hot saw. This is going to be fun.
Well, let's bring him out to the final heat of the hot saw. Jason Lentz and Maddie Slingerland. And there's Maddie Slingerland on the right.
Well, this is it, the grand finale, final event of the final discipline here in the hot saw. Jason Lentz on stand number 1. Matt Slingerland, who's held the lead points-wise through the vast majority of today, on stand number 2. So what do? Take it easy, keep her down the middle,
well,
try to get the feel for tomorrow.
Yeah,
Warm up your
I go back to
saws.
what I said with Grant Foreman. I feel like there's a middle ground where you don't hover, you don't float, but you just kind of practice that rhythm. You practice that muscle memory. You get in that mindset. No, it doesn't need to be a blistering cut. You don't need to try to break a new record. You certainly could.
Yeah.
If you fell apart, it certainly doesn't hurt as long as you don't damage the machine.
Yeah.
But just getting into that rhythm, your start, you're up to the block. If you get in this mindset where I just need a safe cut, I just need 3 cuts, you start hovering over the log, you start steering the saw, that becomes your muscle memory. That becomes your norm. In my mind,
reset
again,
the machine.
Yes, in my mind, again, you just have to have your rhythm. You have to have your motions.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Jason Lentz so fast off the wood. Oh, trouble for Maddie Slingerland, though. He does not at this moment have 3 cuts.
Nope.
I think well, if he's got line there, he's good. Yeah. Take a bow, Maddie Slingerland. Hey, you know what? That's the right attitude, though. He's got to be in the right mindset. This has been one of the things with Maddie Slingerland over the years is Maddie in his own head. And if you can take a moment like that and laugh at it a little bit, if you can celebrate it a little bit, he knows he doesn't need it, and he's just got to have this right mindset.
Both cuts are good.
Both these guys looking for replays. Come over here to see the replays,
Well, Jason, you know, you came flying out that first disc. I actually thought you almost hit the deck with that bar. Did you know how close you were to the deck when you pushed through that first cut? It was phenomenal entrance into the wood, and you time yourself. Isn't it about a 1.1 seconds you're shooting for?
Yeah, 1-1 off the go, and reaction time from hearing the go is like 2/10, so we try to jump that a little bit, time it out to where we're leaving right on 0-0-0.
That's phenomenal. We're going to keep you here. You're done for the day. You're going to be moving on. Talked about this replay here. This is your start.
Yeah, pretty good start. Hovered a little bit, and then, yeah, my back foot was a little too far back. Took me a little while to catch the motor, but, yeah, decent run.
What do you mean catch the motor? Meaning it just was more powerful than you expected? You could have put more weight on it?
No, we set ourselves up so as we come out of our first cut, that push plate hits on our thigh to come back in for our second cut, and I was just back a little too far. Used to cutting 20-inch at the Lumberjack World Championships last weekend. You have to stand back a little bit. It's a little lower, so an adjustment needs to be made. So
make that adjustment tomorrow in the finals. You're going to see this guy at 2 o'clock running that hot saw again. Great job today, Jason. I'd say unofficially winning the pool.
Well, here's that run from Matty Slingerland up and into the wood. Looked great, but then nose out on that second cut. Actually almost missed that third cut. Gets it lined up. Not a lot of real estate. Grip, rip, here we go. Down through, line is left. Third cut complete. Time received. Which, in this pool today, where we literally didn't we bat 500? We had half of the field DQ. Here's that run from Jason Lentz. Let's watch this again. Watch the blur of his hands down to that saw to get it started, up and in. He did hover a little bit. Yeah, I'll give him that. And he said again, he couldn't quite catch that saw against his thighs. Back leg was back a little bit too much. A little bit of a dangerous situation at the end. Came out, and that saw kind of wanted to kick under the log. If it makes contact with the wood on the other side of that line or wipes the line off, that would be a DQ as well.
Jason's finishes with 3 victories in the 6 disciplines today and gets 41 points, which ties him with Matt Slingerland for the top spot in this qualifying here. Grant Foreman in 3rd place, and Ben Nicely, despite the DQ, as we mentioned there, is going to be your 4th qualifying competitor. Hats off to all these great competitors out here today in all of the pools. So I'm going to read it off to you here. We have our field set for the championships tomorrow. It includes Tristan Van Beek, Trevor Beaudry, Dakota Robarge, Nate Hodges, Mark Beauquin, Cassidy Shear, Alexander Storm, and Matt Koger. And joining them will be Ben Nicely, Grant Foreman, Matthew Slingerland, and Jason Lentz. You're 12th, shooting for the championship tomorrow, the Stihl Timber Sports 2025 Men's Individual Championship.
First heat of the hot saw, Dakota Robarge.
6th place to start. We only have 6 competitors left. Had to say goodbye to Trevor Beaudry, Grant Foreman, after the second segment of our competition day today. Dakota Robarge, I think this is the position he finished in last year, which is great. I mean, you make it to the final, you make it to the hot saw, you've done great things.
Yeah,
he'd like to do better.
Yeah, he'd love to do better, but again, just a little reality check on this. Year number 2.
Warm up your saw.
Year number 2 for Dakota Robarge on this. This is where I always say it's like a NASA launch protocol comes into play. You get your starter cord wrapped. That starter cord is a very specific length so that your piston starts at top dead center, has a full downstroke to draw in an air fuel mixture and come back up for that ignition stroke. they set decompression valves. There may be a throttle lock. The very last thing you'll do is you'll see Dakota reach down and turn on the oiler valve, so he's not just dumping oil out here.
Single-cylinder motors, super tough to pull over. They're gonna hit that
Checks, you see him reach up, he's checking his decompression valve.
He's got his finger on the fuel right there, getting ready to turn that on and get ready to go. Gravity-fed fuel systems in a lot of these saws.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Dakota Robarge, it is offering the hot saw, not off to a strong start as he fans the first cut, gathers it up, makes 3 complete discs. A tough break for Dakota Robarge. Fast through the wood, but that first cut came up, and he fanned past the top of the log.
Kicking the saw up and down, the exhaust pipe, kicking the saw side to side. But a great recovery. I think he's going to get a good time here. Absolutely. It is so
3 complete discs appear to be on the stage. That one has a little bit of a close shave at the top of it, but still a complete disc.
They are talking about something up there. All right, got the head nod for Chris Alba.
Your cut is good.
Dakota, buddy, I know you've been competing a long time. This Timber Sports Series is just a different animal. So impressive. Your second year, you made it to the top 6, something that so many athletes strive to do, but they just can't make it. You've done it again. Consistency award today. Great job. What can you say looking back on your weekend?
Yeah, it was great to be here. I got lots of nice support out there, family here. And yeah, it's a blessing to be here in the finals.
Great job, great consistency, springboard, all of his chops. It was unreal, Dave. So there you go.
Well, here's a look at the hot saw run from Dakota Robarge. Again, second year here on the big stage at Steel Timber Sports Series. He just goes at it. Oh, and I see trouble. I know exactly what went wrong now. Look at that. That is his tether cord. When he throws away the starter cord, it is hung on the backdrop behind him. The tether cord is strung out like a clothesline, and I saw the expansion chamber get up underneath that tether cord. And there he goes. Oh, that's perfect. It's hanging there right where I get it. I totally missed that in the event. There's just so much going on. I'm watching bar chained wood, not even looking at the background there. What a bizarre set of circumstances for Dakota Robarge.
Hey, hats off to him. You don't need distractions here in the hot saw run, but he gets through it. 3 discs on the ground. That's very, very important. A 7.43.
That's worth another look for sure. Let's go back. Watch this. As he throws the starter cord away, it goes airborne. Watch. And it hangs up behind him. Now that exhaust chamber, that expansion chamber, you see that black cord flopping around. It is now kind of hung up on that. So that black cord is attached to the stanchion so that when the competitor throws that starter cord behind them, it doesn't fly off the stage or hit anybody.
Handle into the back leg to support it, that 3 points of contact. Let's bring him out from Matthews, North Carolina, Ben Nicely.
Now this dude yesterday.
Heat number 2. Performance number 2. This is singles all the way to the very end here. Ben Nicely having a great week here in Wisconsin. Let's see what he can get done. See if he can do something jaw-dropping here in the hot saw.
I've really enjoyed watching Ben Nicely cut his way to this point. A great day under his belt. See if he can put an exclamation point on it with a big run in the hot saw.
Warm up your saw.
Per tradition, the leader in the hot saw sits in, I'll call it the hot seat.
Hot seat for the hot saw leader, exactly.
And watches his fate. We'll see if Ben Nicely can bump Dakota Robarge out of that seat. Obviously a attainable
30
cut.
seconds.
Robarge did not have a good start.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Up into the wood, clean. Very quick switch from stand 2 to, or cut 2 to cut 3. No hesitation, no delay. Ben Nicely, a 5.66, obliterates the time of Dakota Robarge. What amazing, especially that 2 to 3 transition. He was so quick, that looked like a stock saw switch. Of course, all these runs under video review. 2 judges on the stage watching carefully, and they only got 1 guy to watch.
Your cut was good.
And Dakota Robarge knows he had a brief stay in the hot seat. Great job, Dakota. Great weekend. Ben Nicely, what is going on with you, buddy? That was awesome. Your day was great. You chopped. You were so consistent. You got that saw going thin on the first disc. I love how you had the guts to hold that throttle wide open. Nothing to lose here. Buddy, you're going to see the hot seat in a moment. Tell us about your weekend.
Oh, Dave, I couldn't ask for anything better. Honestly, I had a great time out here. The fans are great. We're having a good time.
Talk about this hot saw. I'm guessing around $12,000. Tell us the size of the saw, the cost of it, and was it running perfect when you first bought it? Do you have to become a mechanic to get it dialed in?
Dave, I work more on that saw every year than I do anything else that I own. Yeah, you have to know what you're doing. I don't, but I have a lot of people that really do. So I trust them. There's some guys backstage that help me work on that saw every year, and right now it's running great.
Can't give you a beer yet. We can give you a seat, though, buddy. Have a seat. You're our virtual leader right now, our leader in overall points in the finals. Ben Nicely.
Here's that run from Ben Nicely. Starter cord job number 1. Get that out of the way. Thin cut, but that leaves him a lot of timber and just beautiful parallel discs. He is taking the shortest route through that wood. He seems like he's dialed in control, posts a great time. Love that run for Ben Nicely.
Ben Nicely's time yet very nice, 5.63. What a great way to wrap up a great week for this competitor from North Carolina. Hats off to Ben Nicely here in 2025.
Well, Tommy, look at the PBs already coming up here, personal best. These guys are not holding back. They're not trying to put in safe cuts. This is it.
Nope.
This is the end of the weekend. Right here, your last time on stage. It is just full tilt now.
This year's national champion, triple points on the line in this round. How about the stage crew again with those STIHL EGA 250 blowers, the handheld and the backpack blower. The STIHL PRA 600, electric, powerful, quiet.
All right, Matt Koger, Jason Lintz had a showdown in the springboard chop here. These two competitors been going at it for a long time against one another.
I think as long as I go into the hot saw and I'm confident in all, I'm confident in the hot saw, so I just gotta trust it and make my 3 cuts, and you know, in the end of the day, if that works out, that's what happens.
I'm still running a 330 Jerry Ganger saw, my dad's chain. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I got a big one on order, 408cc, that should be here this fall, so I can keep up with Nate.
Keeping up with Nate, that's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Let's bring out our 7-time national champion looking for a 8 from Grafton, West Virginia. This is Matt Koger.
Matt Koger through the first 3 disciplines of this championship day. Absolutely perfect. 12s, 12s, 12s. Top points across the board. After that, it's gone a little sideways. Had a couple of points here.
Yeah, springboard is the one he definitely wants back.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Warm up your saw.
this hot saw event, it seems like everybody has an edge. Everybody has their thing. Nate Hodges, big displacement, 430 cc's. Matt Koger, he's gone the carbon fiber route. If you look at all the carbon fiber on that, and I forget the numbers now, but he figured out how
30
much
seconds.
weight that is saving on this saw.
So that's for control.
Well, just
lightness.
Getting the thing off the
Yeah.
stage
Yeah.
for crying out loud.
Yeah.
As a former hot saw operator, I can tell you, the go signal gives you a lot of adrenaline, but they're still heavy boat anchors.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Matt Koger, he's got to grab some points. There is no time to slow down. 3 clean cuts, a 5:29. Of course, I say 3 clean cuts from halfway across the pavilion.
Yes.
We've got a lot of folks up there a lot closer than I am that are going to look things over.
We've seen him in the 4s. What he did, what he had to do, we're going to see if it's enough to make it into the hot seat. Then nicely sitting comfortable.
They're checking with video review.
Dave, I know you're over here doing the math. You got it on your phone. You're going to have to tell me what just happened. Let's wait for the call.
Your cut was good.
There it is, officially. Matt Koger will be sliding into the hot seat. 5.15 second cut. Unbelievable.
5-1-5. Great job, Ben Nicey. Quick word, buddy. Boy, you are sweating, my man. You're absolutely soaked. Does this have to be one of the most humid, warm venues we've had here at the BMO Arena? And then talk about your day if you can.
Oh, it's, there's a lot to be desired of my day, I think, but, we're our own worst critics. But, no, I want to thank the fans for coming out and cheering us on. Thanks to STIHL for putting on this awesome event. Thanks to my own personal sponsors for giving me wings for the day and what I need.
Hey, regardless, you won all 3 chops. Well, you did not. You won 2 out of chops. I know you wanted to sweep the events. You won the stock saw, the most difficult event to win. You won the underhand. You won, yeah, you're happy about. Yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing you're happy about. Talk about that, the stock saw.
Oh, it's one of the most stressful events we have up here, and anybody can walk away with that one. It's the most even event we have, and it would even be the second heat to come out. That I had to lay a fast time down, and that was I don't know. Probably the highlight of my day, I guess.
Hey, check it out. This guy is going to be representing the United States team, chopping the underhand or the standing in Milan in October. We haven't seen the end of him this year. For now, you're in the lead, buddy. Enjoy it, and we'll see how long it lasts. Great job.
Here we go, hot saw run from Matt Koger. Really nice thin first disc, just goes into automatic mode. You love to see a good operator operate well, and that is what we had in the form of Matt Koger. A 5:15 is an exceptional time here on this stage. Granted, we had a 4:28 set by a gentleman who has not run yet today.
That was otherworldly, that's for sure. Yeah, anytime under this pressure, in this situation, this pressure cooker here, to lay 3 discs on the ground, get a time of 5.15. Yeah, hats off. Matt Koger deserves to be on top. We got some more big points and low times guys coming up.
Got Jason Lentz, Nate Hodges, Matty Slingerland. I mean, it's
yep. Murderers Row.
Yeah, they're all there. And I go back to that world record run, that 4:28 from Nate Hodges in qualifying rounds. But then I also look at the lead up to that 4:28, where he had crankshaft issues, he had expansion chamber issues, he had throttle cable issues, and it all just kind of came together, and he just full sent, laid up that 4:28 new world record. But are those demons gone?
Yes.
These are the most fickle machines imaginable.
Nothing guaranteed.
Think about protecting that chain. These athletes that can get these chains have to be hand filed. There's only a few competitors, ex-competitors, or filers around the world that can file an absolute perfect racing chain.
4, 5, 6 racing chains, and we'll decide which is the best one to bring out for the steel finals. Let's bring him out. He's won this title before. He won the single buck today. Had a heck of a day. Let's bring him out from Diana, West Virginia, Jason Lintz.
Here's the man, our U.S. national champion in 2021 and again in 2023, just 2 years ago. Jason Lintz, son of the legendary Mel Lintz, his grandfather Merv Lintz, 3 generations of competitors, lumberjack sports.
Well, Jerry Gingras can take a lot of credit for that motor, but Jason's dad Mel can take all the credit for the chain on that saw. Mel is filing some
warm
hand
up your
saws
saw.
now. He's been making exceptional hot saw chains for a while. I always just think it's cool that Jason's out there running one of his dad's chains. When he says, it's my dad's chain, he didn't borrow it from his dad. His dad built that chain for him.
5:15. That's the number to beat, laid down by Matt Koger. He's in the hot seat. He gets a front row to this.
"30 seconds. Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Wow, the force just absolutely crushing down the
Oh, it's going to be close.
526. Man, I thought he was just through that woods. Yeah.
Hey, you know, we're sitting with Matt Koger right
Flag.
Yeah.
We're going to get a word from Matt Koger. Matt, what did you see?
I kind of saw that. I didn't want to be the one to say it, but look at they're starting to put pieces back together.
Your nerves are always racking there, so I mean it's going to be up to the judges to determine how it goes.
Well, they can go to the video.
This is what I call the
review
Humpty Dumpty rule. As long as we can put all the pieces back together, it is a complete disc. So here we go. Let's take a look at this as he comes up, slams it into the wood, down through, no issues on that first disc. It's the far side of that one, and then that one gets hit as it comes off the log. It gets hit by the chain as it's falling to the stage. But I think it's the far side of that upcut is what they're looking at. Jason Lentz, it looks like he's looking for a contact lens, but he is looking for a piece of that cookie to show that it's a complete disc. So this one, no question, ton. Watch the far side, the nose, right in here. Wow, it's just kind of the wood just flaking away. And then this one I believe is good, and as it falls, yep, and as it falls into the top of the chain. Armchair referee Kevin Holtz reporting from the safety of the booth up here.
One more time, Dave. I'm not sure if I saw something
I know it's exactly what the judges are looking at, and they will look at it from every angle.
Let's look a little closer at that.
The ruling on a fall.
That's a massive disc.
If the disc falls, then breaks, hits the ground. From hitting the ground, is it a different thing from hitting the chain on the saw?
Well, and that's the answer I don't have for you right now, Tommy.
Okay.
And look at that far nose right there. It's whether they're going to count that complete or not.
That could be the whole issue, right?
That one could be the issue, and then the disc that falls off, the third disc that falls off, could be the issue. Judges are coming back to the stage right now, to the cheers of the crowd.
Again, I wouldn't want to be standing next to Jason.
There's a really big guy in the crowd we haven't heard in a while. Let's see if he's still here. This is going to eat you. Be careful.
Okay, after reviewing the video, there's more video read.
Oh, man.
You know what?
False start.
Yeah, in all of my years, I don't know if I've seen, and this is a good thing, I say. This is a good thing.
Sure.
We have better cameras, more review. We used to have one judge, we have 3 judges.
Matt, watch the upcut, watch the
Another look here.
We're looking right here around 9 o'clock position, the top of the bar.
Watch the nose of this bar as it comes past midpoint in the log.
Oh, that is.
Oh, I'm glad I'm sitting in this seat and I'm not wearing stripes today.
Is,
Holy
talk
cow.
about a fine line. Wow.
Let the boys play.
We should ask Matt Koger what he thinks.
Yeah, let's hear from everybody. Okay, referee's headed back again.
Again.
Maybe this time. Fingers crossed.
I tell you what, though, this, regardless, whichever way this call goes, this speaks to the dedication and commitment of the officiating staff to get this right.
Okay, after extensive video review, we've determined that your cut is good.
Well, there you have it, the largest sigh of relief from one of the largest competitors in our field. Jason Lentz, cut is good by the thinnest of margins.
Happy to be in the hot seat.
I'm not going to ask you to stand up, Jason. It's been a long, hot weekend. Have you ever had to wait that long? Suspenseful question needs to be answered. And you said it right. I don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah, I didn't know. There was a piece that when my third cookie hit the deck, it had broken off or whatever, but we found the chunks that needed to make it a full wheel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they were looking at.
A very thick disc on your first. You knew it was thick, but you've practiced before and enabled to be able to make that second and third cut incredibly thin, and that's something you almost have to practice, right?
Yeah, you definitely have to practice. I didn't mean to do that, Dave. I mark out my lines 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and hope I don't have to make a fourth wheel, so I leave myself an extra inch. But yeah.
Talk about that saw.
Yeah, that's a Jerry Gingras 330cc motor. I don't know, it's probably the most winning motor in the United States the past 2019 till current.
All right, congratulations, great cut. Sit here for a moment. We got 2 athletes remaining.
Yes, still to come. Sitting at 52 points right now, we have Maddie Slingerland still to come, and then we have Nate Hodges. He's at 54 points. Lentz currently at 68.
Might be of some use to take a look at our overall leaderboard again. It's not complete, our hot saw competition, but there it is. Jason Lentz with the lead over. He has eliminated Matt Koger at this point. That's a big part of the business, but we've got 2 more to compete as well, so he is not home free yet, not by any means. Matt Slingerland and Nate Hodges yet to cut.
5th heat of the hot saw, second to last competitor. Let's bring him out, Maddie Slingerland.
Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Dave, he's looking for his first national title. Let's rewind a few years. He had one. He
So Maddie Slingerland, I believe, has 52 points right now going into this hot saw event.
Yes, 52 points.
Well, I tell you what, he looks so strong in qualifying, has fumbled a bit
Warm up
here
your
in the
saw.
finals. It's just got to be full send.
Yeah.
It's just got to be absolute full send.
This is the same motor, I believe, that Jason's running. Up here, it's a 330. Yeah, dangerous motor. And let's not forget this motor.
30 seconds.
1 week ago, it had a broken crankshaft. It was quickly fixed by Jerry Chickerson, New Hampshire, and rushed out here to the steel finals.
Maddie Slingerland going through his pre-flight checklist.
Got a round of applause for his warm-up, so maybe the audience knows something we don't know.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Fire lit, that's job one. Saw sounds good.
Oh,
Look at
yeah.
oh, wow, grenades the disc. Let's go, says Maddie Slingerland. Showing a 5:00 on the unofficial time. That disc just grenaded on the screen. He's given head judge Rich Hallett a puzzle to put back together. They could easily go back. Yeah, so they could easily go back to video. Wow, that's what we needed from Maddie Slingerland.
Your cut was good.
Wow. Fast. Justice works fast
Final
here.
time of 4:89. We are under 5 seconds,
Man.
not world record pace. There's another guy coming up who can do that. What a beautiful fluid run. Got thin on that last disc, but it was all there. It shot across to the stage, exploded against the barrier.
Ugly subject. Back on the stage years ago, you dropped the 3 discs. You had it won. You went back for a 4th disc thinking one was incomplete. It cost you the title. I know you've forgotten about that. You've got a chance again to take this national title.
Yeah, since then I decided that I'd try to go out and be the best hot sawyer that I possibly could be. Now I feel like I'm one of the best in the world, so put that behind me. You just got to lay it out and see what happens.
How many athletes in the country, in the world, have cut in the 4s like you just did?
I think there's only about 4 or 5 of us, but now it's starting to get a little more consistent, so you got to love that. I had a wicked fast chain from Melvin Lentz, and just is so smooth to run, so it's almost automatic. And again, thanks Jerry for getting that saw going in time. I needed it, so yep. And thank you guys, my family, my coaches, my wife, my kids. Can't thank you guys enough for supporting me. Let's see what happens.
All right. From Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, current leader right now with only 1 athlete remaining. And he was talking about that broken crankshaft and luckily.
And nothing to do but watch now for Maddie Slingerland as we go back and watch this run. Beautiful, plumb, square, even cuts, consistent thicknesses. If you were to write a book, other than this last one gets a little thin, sends it grenading off to the side of the stage. But if you could write a book, those first 2 cuts into the 3rd, he knew that time was fast. You don't have to look up. You know your runs. You know when it feels right. Well, Tommy, just 1 competitor left to go in the hot saw, except it happens to be Nate Hodges, who currently is operating the largest displacement hot saw in the field, if not the world, in STIHL Timbersports Series, and who currently holds the world record at 4.28 seconds.
set 48 hours ago on this stage here. Okay, 4.89. The fours have arrived to change the route, to change the theme here, to change everything. Matt Slingerland on top with a 4.89. Clutch performance, no question. No question about it. There it is. Matt Slingerland, Jason Lentz, Matt Coger.
Well, if this song
Nate
absolutely grenades on stage, Nate Hodges will be just off the podium. So if we do the math on this, Tommy, 18 points for the win is his way to the top of that podium.
That's it. That's the route.
Let's bring out our final athlete of the day, final event. He is your national title holder. He is the world title holder. He is the world record holder in this event from North Fork, California. This is Nate Hodges.
Immense pressure on that man right there, but if anybody can handle it, it is Nate Hodges. He knows how to operate this saw. He has used this saw to battle his way to the top in the past, specifically 2024. He has used this saw to battle his way into a new world record, as you said 48 hours ago. At the same time,
Warm up
Tommy,
your
I
saw.
don't have to tell you, this is the hot saw. This is the most fickle mistress out of any Steel Timber Sports event.
Quick warm up, yep. Some athletes decide, hey, the engine's running, don't want to overheat it. Get the pipe hot.
Current
keep the engine cool.
defending national champion, current world champion.
Get sucked in. Terrifying time.
Nate Hodges can
4.2.
get a back-to-back.
30 seconds.
If he wins, if he beats 4.89.
It happened. Everyone around the world is saying that just happened. It did.
Checks his distance from the wood. One look over, gets the crowd revved up.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
For everything, ladies and gentlemen, Nate Hodges, 1, 2, 3 cuts. Whoa, trouble. Things got away from him at the end. He's showing a 4.84 on his unofficial time. The concern was he may have bumped the bottom of the log. Hodges says he's not disqualified. Judges are moving in to confirm. Official time now showing a 4.69. Waiting on the judge. There's handshakes, there's hugs.
Got to make it official. You got to make it legal here.
Yeah,
Come
let's
on.
put a stamp on this.
Your cut was good.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I believe they called it a pregnant pause in the action. What a statement from Nate Hodges.
What a clutch performance
Now,
when he
on
had to do it.
Instagram this morning to the Steel World, I did predict you winning. Thank you for coming back. I hope I get a raise out of this. Buddy, not a perfect day, but you were consistent. You can win these every year because you left a lot out on the table. The hot saw, though, what an unbelievable going 2 for 2, breaking the world record, cutting in 4.6. So much emotion. I love the taunting of Matt Slingerland right before that cut.
That wasn't really taunting, man. That was like me saying he's a badass and he's a legend out here. I thought he had me, honestly. He put a lot of pressure on me. These guys have been putting pressure on me for the last 10 days. I've had to make I don't know how many good cuts in a row. I mean, for me to be able to do that, I'm pretty happy. Everybody's been doing an awesome job. Once again, I got to thank Greg Brewer, Dennis Cahoon, Rob Spry, Fabe Seppo in New Zealand for the axes. There's so many people out there. JP Mercier, my wife Lonnie, the girls at home, my family, mom, dad, everybody in my small town that supports me like no other. honestly, the list goes on and on. Look at, I mean, even the fans out here, you know, I mean, they're so awesome. They come up, I mean, it's awesome. I wish I could stay out here all night and thank everybody, man, because credit's due, but
talk about that final cut. Well, we just saw you slammed it in. What happened when you came through? It looked like the saw just kicked you right back, and your eyes got huge. But it's incredible, the power. How many athletes can control a 430cc hot saw?
Well, Jason's going to find out here pretty soon. You know, it's been a love-hate relationship with that saw, you know, but to answer your question, I don't know what the heck happened there. She's violent. Every once in a while, she gets a little possessed on me, and I got to try to straighten her out, and luckily I did, but it was wild, and it happened so quick. It's like, holy cow, hang on, here we go. I'll be honest with you, I was a little nervous going into that one. I was trying to get the crowd going to help me out here, you know, like they do. They've done a great job of that and take the edge off, so.
Hey, you did not disappoint this weekend. Congratulations. You're not officially our national champion until you get on that podium. Go take a rest. We're going to have the awards ceremony in just a moment.
No better way but roll out of a national championship into a national championship. A slightly heavy cut on that first one. He starts to run out of wood by the time he gets to the third one, and something happens at the end here. That saw just runs away. He had throttle cable issues earlier in the weekend. Something may have stuck. The issue we've seen in the past is the top of that bar, even after the 3 cuts are done, comes over and bumps the bottom of the log on the other side of the line. That is cutting outside the allotted area. That would have been a disqualification. You saw Nate run right over to that log, peek underneath, and make sure he didn't make contact with that log.
He was worried about 7 o'clock right there on that log, the line there anyway. Look at that time, a 4.69, as clutch as it can be. Matt Slingerton had just delivered a clutch cut right before him, below 5 seconds. Man, oh man, you were in the rarefied air of hot saw in the world right there. That is as good as it gets.